In this video, we're going to look at how to take an element from somewhere in the list and overwrite that element at a different spot in the list, overwriting the element that was at that different spot. And I guess technically you could overwrite an element into its own spot if the values of I and j are the same. So here we have a list, and then this j will represent one index, and it will access one of the elements in that list. And then this I right here is a different index, and this A list I will be a different spot within the list. And what we're going to do is we're going to access this element and then assign it to this spot. So this is really an element out of the list, and this is the spot where we're overwriting. So this is kind of the notation, and you can see in the text in the block, it's pretty much identical. It's important to understand that I and j within the pseudocode documents are going to be numbers 1 to the length of the list. All right, so let's take a look at what this is going to look like in Snap, and then let's take a look at what it will look like in Python, and maybe you'll get a better intuitive understanding of what these words mean when you see them on the exam. All right, so in Snap, I've created two variables, I and j. I'm going to go ahead and make I1 and j3. So j3 represents the blue color. If j is the index, then the element at spot 3 is blue. And then I1 is this red color, but it also references this particular spot in the list. So when I set the list up, it's just a list of 4 colors. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign one of the items in this list to the other spot. So replace item I. So item at I would be this spot right here of this particular list with, and notice I've kind of left this out here at the bottom. If we click on what j of A list is, we see it's the color blue. So this is the one we're accessing. And so we're going to replace that access into this spot. And so notice that when I click on this, if you go up here and you look at your list, now in spot 1, we have blue. So we've completely lost the red. The red got overwritten, but we did take an element from this list at spot 3 and assign it back in at spot 1. So now the value of the element at spot 1 is the same as what it was at spot 3. When we look at it in Python, Python's a little bit more similar to what you see in the pseudocode. Once again, the difference is the index values start at 0 and go to 1 less than the length of the list. So I'll go ahead and run this cell, and we'll set up the list. And then I'll run this cell, and we'll see what that list is. And notice we have red, green, blue, yellow. A list 3 is 0, 1, 2, 3. That's the yellow color. And what we're going to do is we're going to access the yellow color and then assign it to the red's spot. So A list 0 is this spot right here. So basically what I'm saying is that's going to be completely overwritten, and it will have this put in there. So when I go ahead and run this cell, and then I list out the list, you'll see that we have yellow, green, blue, yellow, and indeed red was overwritten with the color yellow. So I hope this explanation made sense, and I hope you find this information useful.